Let's get this party started, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is David Worrell. I am very transparent. I put everything on here, and I've been doing this on YouTube now for quite some time, trading for quite some time, and I hope you can at least extrapolate a little bit of the knowledge I'm going to share today. And if you don't take any of it, well, you can see my failures and you can see how I make up for them. We focus on leaders, momentum leaders in the overall stock market. We're looking for those trend and base breakouts, and we have done very, very well for ourselves this year. So far, I am still up around 60% on the overall account year to date. Very proud to say, and we still have time left in this year to make money. Now, I have a ton of sentiment to go over and a ton of leaders. So we'll go over the sentiment first. We'll see what old Jerome Powell has on the CME Fed tool. We'll check out the AAI Investor Sentiment Survey. Of course, we'll check out this Fed Watch. I had Yosef posting some stuff in the Discord today I found pretty interesting. Of course, all these are just sentiment based. These aren't based to really take your trade on. Me personally, I always start with risk management. But regardless, what's up? What's up, Carl Burr, our long-standing man, Carl Burr. There's Joseph in the building, always shooting us some of the best information in the Discord. Jimmy Bright, it is good to see ya. And Gregory Greenwich, thank you for being here early and shooting those tickers in the chat. We'll definitely be going over all of those very, very soon. What's up? Jolene's in the building. Jolene, absolutely happy to have you. And we'll let all of the rest of you flow in, baby. Flow in like the mouth of the river. Let's get this baby started, shall we? Bada bing, bada boom. You'll be making money soon. Ooh, the coffee's hot. Coffee's hot off the pot. All right, guys, I'm glad you're here because I'm telling you, when I was going through all of the tickers, all of the news, all of the BS that's going on, there is a lot of noise, and I gotta say, it's gotta be hard to be a new, somebody new at this coming in. It just looks like everything is going to break out, right? So you really got to ask yourself, well, what do I play? How do I know what's going to go up? It's where the overall market direction is going in, what sectors are the hottest, and what is setting up per your strategy. For me, it is these base breakouts or trend breakouts that have been working out the best. So I filtered through and I found some of the best base and trend breakouts that are out there, and not solely looking at the base and trend breakouts, the leaders in the overall market where we are waiting for them to show another sign for us to get in, because I missed a lot of our bigger moves in the quantum computing and nuclear. But I know some of you guys in the Discord did grab some shares in those sectors, and it makes me very, very happy that I don't just have to sit on the side. I at least have somebody to root for. What's up, Mama? Good to see you, Mama. Thank you for coming out to the game, baby. All right, so let's just start off right now. What's up, Zamora? What's going on? We'll start with the sentiment surveys. And guys, we're going to get right into the leaders list right away. I want to get through this sentiment survey. I got about 3 or 4 things I want to show you. And it gives you an overall kind of macro, we'll call it macro, not really macro, but a sentiment on how the overall judgment of the crowd is doing. Because we don't really want to go with the crowd. We don't really want to go with the crowd. It's better to go against the crowd, but we don't want to fight the tape. Meaning, if price action is king, we are going to follow what price action is doing. And if the overall market is to one side, we're going to feel a lot more comfortable taking the other side of this trade. So what are you looking at this for? Well, we want to see if one side is heavily leaning one way or the other. And I know if we look back here at 9:10 before the federal interest rate cut, and you can see we were very, very bearish. At near all-time highs, we were very, very bearish. Now that we broke new all-time highs again and we're capitulating, we're continuing higher, we're having that continuation off what I consider this basing breakout area. You can see here, the sentiment has changed. We're closer to neutral now, which is not saying much other than, at least some people are when we reach these new all-time highs and you see everybody so bearish at new all-time highs, it's crazy to me personally. because every time we reach new all-time highs, we usually have continuation. It usually takes a very big step back and then a new higher low to really start, you know, making me nervous. So we are about neutral now on the AAII member feel of the stock market on how it's going to be in the next 6 months. People are about neutral on it now. So we aren't leaning one way or the other. The other piece of information, which I don't know if you guys have followed this gentleman here, you know, I can just post his thing. You know, he was in the Market Wizards books. He was, he has his own, he's got his own screaming thing. And, you know, I just want to give credit where credit is due. So if you guys want to check on that and follow him in his Twitter or X account, you can. This right here is a COT report, okay? And this just shows you where the overall sentiment is. And you guys can see right here, the large speculators right here in blue, the largest speculators here are net short. Meaning if our largest speculators are short and we keep going to new all-time highs, eventually these folks will have to cover. They will. Now, we can look at the overall historical rates. We can look at, you know, how the overall market looks. We can look at all this different sentiment, and it is scary. It 100% is scary, right? We're reaching these new all-time highs with these over-evaluated stocks, and basically what's keeping us afloat are all these big markets like Nvidia buying IONQ. You know, everybody buying each other's shares is what's keeping us afloat, right? And it's got to come down sometime. Well, here's the thing. In the overall outlook of things, I am always going to be on the bullish side, because if we look at the market and we zoom all the way out, it tends to continuously head higher. We do have these big pullbacks, you know, COVID and financial crises and tariffs, you know, uncertainty, fear, FUD. It's going to do it to the market, and we are going to revert to the mean. When we head up too high, too fast, we pull back. It's like a rubber band. Well, we are heading pretty high, pretty fast. Things are still looking very good. I like to see it as a basing breakout. Regardless of what you think, if you try to short at new all-time highs, that usually is pretty bad luck here. You can see new all-time highs and it pulled back, created a new higher low. New all-time highs pulled back, created a new higher low. Vice versa. If you would have shorted here, you're getting your butt blown out there. And you guys can see in that sentiment, that piece of survey that I have, a lot of your larger speculators are still short. They will have to cover eventually. Now, I could be wrong. This thing could fail tomorrow, but with the overall look of things, I am still risk on because we are above a 21-day moving average. Another thing that we can take a look at is our good friend, my friend, maybe yours too, but that is Powell.
Interest rates with Jerome Powell.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you guys know I like to take a look at this thing, and it's just good to know the path of the rate cuts that we are on. Of course, we just got a rate cut on the September 17th at 2 o'clock. We got that rate cut, and you can see it was a big sell the news event, got bought right back up, bouncing off that 10-day moving average, just as we talked about in the last Sunday meeting when we were talking exactly about these. And you can see here, October 29th, the probability of a rate cut is 93% for a quarter of a basis point. That is a very good sign. Now, it still seems a long time away. So let's just skip to December, and you'll see here we have an 80% chance of having those 3 rate cuts in total for this year. So 2 more is right here at 80%. They're being priced in the market, and the market seems to really, really like that. So, yeah, things are looking really, really good. And so what I think most interests me is the path. It's not that we're getting the rate cut. It's the fact that we are on a rate cut path back down to our norm. So that's a really good sign, because when things are easy to borrow money, things are easy to buy, people start buying more, start investing into things, start hiring more people, start building more, right? Everything starts to get that funnel of money. So I think that's really important. One last thing before we start heading into leaders, I just want you guys to look at this year to date. And it's kind of funny if we look at this, you know, 1 day to 5 day to all the way to year to date, our best services out there are communication. The communication services, XLC, has absolutely been on a tear this year, and it's doing very, very well. The only thing that hasn't been doing well is healthcare. Now, Well, we all kind of know, we look at these pharmaceuticals, these drug stocks, they are going absolutely rampant. If you look at healthcare and the overall, the biggest stocks in here, you don't see any of those small or mid caps. And you see a lot of those pharmaceuticals, the small and mid caps, just absolutely ripping. Now you see these percentage changes here, they're doing their best. They're doing their best here. Healthcare though, XLV specifically, when we look at it, it looks like it's trying to lift off these bottoms. So keep an eye on healthcare still, but it is on an overall downtrend. So it needs to get above this 200-day moving average before we really start buying into those bigger healthcare stocks. Now, let's just jump right into the leaders, guys, because to be quite honest, we can look at the overall sectors all day long, but really there's only a couple of bad sectors that are really drowning right now. And one of them is healthcare. It's just stuck in the sideways action. So let's get right into the leaders. And a few of them you are gonna know from last week. We're gonna go over those, and I'm gonna have a few to show you right now. So I hope you guys are having fun. If you are, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We do this every Sunday. We do have a Discord. It's invite only though. So as long as you're popping in here, you're saying hi, you're saying hello, you're here a couple of weeks, we'll give you a shot. We'll let you into the Discord to see if you vibe right. So let's just start with AMSC. AMSC. If you guys remember, we have been keeping a close eye on this one for quite some time. AMSC did this big pop up, continued higher. If you guys remember, I mean, it was, I think it was their first earnings. No, it was this earnings. AMSC popped way up, showed that it needed attention. As it was hitting new all-time highs, NVIDIA was not. And then it created this flag here, or this trend breakout, if you will. I did not capitalize on this, but if you look at it, just take a look at it. It looks very, very beautiful. I really like that. You could even have seen this more as a cup with a small handle here before capitulating higher. So if you're not a part of this one, no fears, no sweats. If it is a TML or true market leader, it'll give us another opportunity to get in here. Another huge one that you guys know I made a ton of money on, it really made my year so far this year, is when I played Hood at this basing breakout here. We took out half at 20% and left the other half run until we closed out of it right here somewhere. Where did I close out? It looks like right here, yeah. Closed out right there. Now, this thing had another beautiful basing breakout. I know a couple of you in the Discord found this one and took it. Congratulations to you. I believe it was Carl. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know if you guys are listening, which one of you guys took this Hood trade. Absolutely beautiful. Honestly, I wish I was back a part of it, just so I could say I skipped out on all this choppy mess and I got back in at the basing breakout, so I didn't have to let my money sit in here. But look at this, guys. Hood is an absolute true market leader. Look at the EPS and sales growth on this. It's undeniable. It moves 4.59%, so it's a faster mover as a bigger liquid stock. So definitely keep Hood on your watch list. I'm actually even thinking about taking small share size and adding into it every time it comes down and touches this 10-day moving average. Why? Because the last time we were here, it followed that 10-day moving average like an absolute beautiful, beautiful thing. Absolutely love that, guys. So right here, it's starting to follow that 10 again. If we get a big pull back and we touch that 10-day moving average, or even better yet, we touch this basing breakout, that might be a proper area for good risk management. So I like Hood. I missed Hood. I miss you. I miss you, Hood. Oh God. Don't cry on live. Do not cry on live. Now, one that will make me cry is Google. If you guys don't know, Google is absolutely tearing it up like Taco Bell on a late night. Listen here, guys, Google. I pointed this out. I was a huge part of this. I could go over it. It's heartbreaking. I sold right here at the basing breakout where I took this trade. 197, I had 100 shares. Yeah, that's 5 G's I missed out. 5 grand right there. And if I would have taken out at 20%, or if I didn't even take out at 20%, which would be right here at 242, I would be up, way more than, $5,000. I'd be closer to 6,000 or 7,000. But regardless, guys, this is why you are a loser unless you are learning. I've learned from my mistakes. I made so much money on Hood. I'm being very, very honest. I made so much money on Hood, I was so afraid to lose it. I've made a lot of money before. I've lost a lot of money before. It's time for Daddy to hold on to his greens, okay? So when I see this kind of crap going on and I see a big pullback, I'm thinking I'm wrong. I'm just gonna settle for break even, and I'll get back in when it breaks this spacing breakout. I did not. Google, keep it on your watch list, because if this thing touches that 10-day moving average, I think it's going to continue to bounce off of it. But if we look at the 21-day, that is the true area of support. So we'll see what Google wants to do. Maybe it'll give us another chance to get in. It is a slower mover at 2.22%, but you can use GGLL if you find the right spot. This thing moves twice as fast, so 4.38%. Let's catch up. Let's make sure ain't nobody chatting on the chat. Oh, Carl Burr, I did take it September 17th. Got stopped out and next took it again. Still in. Hell yeah, Carl. That's the hardest part. When you get in a trade and then you get knocked out of it and it goes right back up into that buy area. It's hard as hell to buy it. Just right here. If I would have stopped out and it came right back up into the area of support or the breakout area, to buy back into that, to me, is so hard. And so are retests, right? So like right here, it breaks out of this area and it retests right here. Perfect area to buy. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, but if we look at this trade and we look at it consistently throughout the history of these true market leaders, you will start to find that these retests and these basing breakouts are absolutely necessary in your trading wheel, okay? I don't care if you're a day trader, swing trader, investor. If you actually learn the base and trend breakout strategy, you are gonna find that on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 1 hour, 30 minute, weekly, daily, monthly, it does not freaking matter. And when you find that same strategy and it goes across all time frames, I mean, you see it on the weekly, you see it on the daily, you see it on the hourly, you see it on the 5 minute, you have found yourself a 5-star trade. Watch for that volume pickup and take that trade, okay? Watch Google, keep it on your list. It's definitely a #1 on mine, and it's probably the most painful stock I have ever had to witness. I'm dead serious, guys. I mean, I know it's only $5 grand. To me, $5 grand's a lot. $5 grand will add up. $5 grand would have put my account at a new all-time high. Yada, yada, yada. You take a $5 grand trade here, a $5 grand trade there. Next thing you know, you're working with a $100,000 account. And with that $100,000 account, now let's double. Now let's get to the millions, right? So just keep that in mind. That's why it hurts so much, and that's why we do not trade on emotions. We follow our strategy to a T, and we make sure we find the right moving average in order to base our risk off of. Next up, we have Tesla. Yeah, you didn't think I was going to be talking about Tesla, but you can't ignore this kind of crap, right? We've seen these new higher lows. We've seen it getting tighter. There was plenty of people, old friends like John Hammer messaged me and asked me what I thought about this area. I know Holy Diver has been buying this thing up in that $300 area. Congratulations to you, which is the anchored VWAP from all-time low. And you've seen this, this anchored VWAP pinch type coming in here, although it wasn't respecting its all-time highs, it doesn't matter. You can see it was showing support, now breaking higher. There's a lot going on with Tesla. I won't play Tesla. It's just not, it doesn't vibe with me. I don't get Tesla right, and I've lost a lot of money on trying to trade Tesla. And everybody who's made money on Tesla, you're welcome. So keep an eye on Tesla because, even though it's a very choppy name, it's very hard. I could definitely see this thing, being the new, I wouldn't say new market leader. I would like to say that it's going to be a leader in autonomous driving, a leader in robotics eventually, and hopefully these EPS and sales growth start to turn around. That's my biggest turnoff right here is where's the EPS and sales growth, right? So it's a leader in its niche, but I still am not full aboard Tesla personally. I think it's a little too choppy. Now, one that I really wanted to refrain from talking about today, but it just wouldn't be a YouTube show if we didn't talk about IONQ. This is where your EPS and sales growth meets speculative assets, right? So things are going crazy in the market right now. Things that aren't making any freaking sales or money are making new all-time highs and completely capitulating, right? Your nuclear and your quantum computing. A lot of these stocks do not have any proof of concept, right? They're just ideas. IONQ, I mean, we could argue about it all day, but are they really selling quantum computers? Are they really making money off this? Well, if we look at their overall fortunes, you can see they are so far in debt up to their eyeballs. Just this recent annually, their net margin is negative 769%, but the stock in the past week is up 53%. So you riddle me this. So we have new higher lows, we have a tightening range, we have RS that is extremely high, and we have a trend breakout. So I just got to give a shout out to Jolene. She's actually the one that said, hey, don't forget about IONQ. It's been on my list for quite some time, but sometimes I just fall off. I don't want to look at quantum computing stocks. I want to look at EPS and sales growth. This thing is one that makes you turn your head. Do not fight the tape on that one. Let me take a sip of my coffee. What up, the Charlotte and Gary Scrapping Show? Should have sold my TTD. We'll take a look at TTD very, very soon. Gosh darn, I hate to hear that. We want to see y'all making money, but losing money is part of the business. A-Lab, another one of your semiconductors. Look what it's bouncing off of, the 10-day moving average. Very, very simple, very plain. This is a true market leader. Look at the EPS and sales growth on these bad boys. This is what you want to see. We're asking for 20% quarterly over quarterly EPS and sales growth. This thing is smacking that 20% in the face. A-Labs, Astra Labs, Astera Labs Incorporated. Put it on your watch list. I'm not seeing a trade on anything I have showed you yet. Of course, this was the trade right here, the basing breakout. Torqued was actually watching this one very close, one of our dear friends in the Discord. And I don't know if he made money on this one or not, if he's still holding. And Torqued, if you're in the building, let me know. Another one, now I have a bias-y. I have bought TEM. I bought it right here at this basing breakout. Why? Well, if we zoom all the way out, this is a yearly basing breakout. It took me 3 damn tries to get into this. It cost me a lot of money to find the right spot to get in, but once I decided to take my own advice and reduce my share size and widen my stop, I was able to hold on to TEM. Why do I like TEM? Well, I like the EPS, I like the sales growth, and you guys know it's all about that base, bitch. This thing right here, I promise you, if the market continues to go higher, we're gonna see TEM reach new all-time highs, if not tomorrow, within the next few weeks. Why? It is a leader in the market. It has EPS and sales growth, and I think Tempest AI is going to capitulate higher. But we need to keep an eye on what's holding it higher, the 21-day moving average. You can see I bought right now. I deserve the right to sit tight, meaning if this thing continues to hold above the 21-day moving average, I have no real reason to sell this. So I will hold on, and I have my alert set at these new all-time highs around 90.64 to add into this trade. Currently, I have 25% of my account in TEM, and I'm willing to go up to 50% on TEM because of this yearly basing breakout. But sweaty hands, shaky hands, I'm gonna set my stops, and we're gonna see what rocks. Another awesome mover, and I know, I believe it was Carl Burr as well. Carl, you're famous. Dude, you're famous, bro. Carl Burr actually took this trade as well, RDDT. What do we love about RDDT? It being a leader. Why does it deserve a spot on this show? Plain and simple, EPS and sales growth. This thing, new all-time highs, formed a nice cup. We could consider this a handle, right? But we'll just say a cup with no handle. As you guys know, the last market cycle, the cups with no handles were absolutely kicking ass and taking names. I identified this as your basing breakout. Did I take it? No, absolutely not. I was looking elsewhere. RDDT is absolutely beautiful. Obviously, this 21-day moving average is your support. So if you're able to get a hold of something like this, it might be safest to pull it off the 21, but for me, I don't see a trade here just yet. You could consider this a basing top, but it's a little extended here, so I would just be careful with Reddit. It does look good, it's trending higher, and it is a bull market. Carl says, I took that one a few times and made some money, got stopped out on Friday. Oh shit, dude, sorry about that. Yeah, man, I mean, you've been following the right names, you've been finding the right stocks in the right sectors. You've been making some money, man, and we love to see it. We love to see it. Yeah, Reddit. I mean, we've been following this thing for quite some time now. It is beautiful. You gotta like a stock like that. You know, you gotta like a tasty looking stock like that. All right, let's see what else we got. I mean, I have so many stocks here. I'm not kidding, guys. There are so many beautiful leaders out there, and I also have some shit tickers. Okay, I got some rip your face off tickers. I know you guys love them. I love them too, but here's the thing. If I take these, I don't talk about it, and I use a very, very small share size because I've been hurt over these small tickers. So we'll go over them soon. Let's get through these leaders. We got BE, Bloomberg Energy. What, like, do I need to even say it? Do I even need to say it? Look at this thing straight up, straight up. Now tell me, EPS and sales growth, absolutely killing it with an RS rating of 99 and the ADR is 6.76%. This thing is absolutely blooming. I love this stock. I do. Do I have any of it? No. Was there a few plays you could have taken? Sure. Tough takes. You know, this basing breakout was nice, but hard to take. This one here, I don't really consider that a basing breakout. You know, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to get. Your best bet was right down here at this cup with handle, absolutely perfect. The only thing is, you know, if you didn't get up that 20% here, well, it was 20%. So if you would have taken that, you would have been able to hold through earnings due to my strategy. You're gonna be up at least 10% to be able to hold. You were up over 20% here. You could have held through that. This could have been a huge winner, but right now it's just, it's a leader that we are watching to see if it shows us a base. Another huge one that you can't buy yet, but if you keep an eye on it, this huge EPS and sales growth earner might give us another chance to get in. We need to see some sideways action. APP. And then, of course, you guys remember IREN. This is your data processing services. You can see right here, if you guys remember, I remember exactly where I was at when I took this trade. We seen this setting up. It got really tight on the 10-day. I took it at the basing breakout. It reached all the way to 2161. I had quite a few shares. Let me see how many shares I had of that. Oh my gosh. Is that really? Let me just see. This is July 21st. Let's see. July 21st. So I had 100 shares of it. Okay, so nothing too crazy. Oh, no. I had 300 shares. I sold 2 lots of 150 at my stop out. So I actually had 300 shares of this at this basing breakout, but I ended up stopping out of that trade. You know, when I take a base breakout, I expect it to work immediately. This thing broke out, it came right back down, stopped me out, and then took off without me. It's A-okay. I didn't like the earnings that was coming out right here, but you know, it is what it is, guys. This thing is still trucking higher. It's one that we have to continue to watch because of the EPS and sales growth. And of course, data processing is a very, very key sector here, okay? So definitely keep an eye on that. Let's see what else we got. Yes, OCC. So this was an EPS and sales growth earner. See this here? EPS and sales growth. Their future, we don't see what their guidance is here. But look at this. You see this trend break? Boom. Trend break? Boom. Another trend break, but we couldn't take it because of the earnings. Well, earnings came out and it was a surprise, apparently. Surprise, surprise. I don't have it here on this, but a big pop up, and now look how tight this is getting. Look how tight this is getting. Optical Cable Corporation, electronic technology and telecommunications. Remember, communications is one of the best looking sectors out there all year. Market cap, 79 million. This thing moves 12.51% in a day. This will rip your face off. So it's a small cap, can rip your face off. But I have my alert set at 916. Of course, I'm gonna give myself enough room. This 10-day moving average, I really like that 10-day. Looks like it held the best on the 21-day. So keep that in mind. But A big push up, a pullback, and then following the 10-day moving average. To me, that is looking really spicy here. If we zoom all the way out, you'll see this thing is at all-time highs. So this is what I would consider a high tight flag. Although a high tight flag, I think you need about 3 weeks of consolidation here. If I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong. But look how tight this thing is. You know, I'm willing to take a bet and use that low right here, which is, let's see here, 12%. So that's still within the average daily range percentage. That's just a trade idea, guys. As long as you have a stop set in mind and you're using one of the moving averages, if it is following a moving average, then you know, take it, take a shot. Just know what you're willing to risk. And guys, I have so many other ones. I mean, I could go on. I got CBRE. Some of the other ones that I've played, like PGY, is still doing really well. I put this on the ready list. Look at this basing breakout right here. PGY, EPS and sales growth, doing amazing. Remember PL after their earnings. Look at this, basing breakout right here, EPS growth. This opening range breakout would have served you very, very well. Look at that. And it's got sales growth as well. What else do we have? If you guys are still interested in some of the clean energy stocks, we have SHLS, Shoals Technology. Remember that basing breakout I pointed out? Still heading higher even after the retest on the 21. We have RUN, R-U-N. That is a beautiful basing breakout right there with EPS, some EPS and sales growth. HNGE, you guys remember that? HNGE, we're just waiting on the healthcare sector, right? Sideways action, if it can get above this base. It could be good, but just trading sideways now. Let's get into some shit stocks. I mean, dude, I got HIMS, Rocket Lab, Dave. There's so many amazing stocks setting up out there, but I really do just want to show you guys some absolutely disgusting stocks. Here's ZEEP. This thing moves 11%. It's getting tight on the 21-day moving average right now. 99 RS. Very, very fast mover, but I do believe that this is a poopy stock. I don't know. Is this a poop stock? SOUN? I mean, we got some sales growth, but the EPS isn't very good. Now, I am in this stock, just like the IONQ. We got a huge trend, new higher lows, multiple new higher lows, tightening range, and now breaking up above here. So I bought this breakout here, even though it's really not a leader in this sector. You know, I just really like that huge trend breakout there. So I took a small risk on that one. Oh, let's talk about OUST. So I also took this trade here. The EPS and sales growth is absolutely amazing. The basing breakout looked absolutely perfect, and it's riding the 50-day moving average, which to me is where a lot of your bigger buyers are going to start stepping in. With an average daily range of 7% and its RS rating of 99, to me this was a 5-star trade. So I ended up buying into this, and when I bought in here, right at the basing breakout, because there was volume. The issue was it wasn't through the breakout on volume, but there was volume there. The very next day, I said, well, if it does break through and it breaks through on volume, I'll get full share size, because I only bought, I think, 100 shares, So when this thing breaks out and gets to close to the new all-time highs, or what I like to say, the resistance area, which was this $34, $35 area, I decided to cut half. Now, I'm only up on this trade 11%, and I like to wait for 20, but my trend break strategy tells me I'm out at half at either all-time highs or the biggest area of resistance. But because it's the base breakout, I could have just left it to continue higher. So I settled for it. I think I was up around $400 or $500. We took out half. We're gonna let the rest ride, right? It's either gonna stop me out at break even, close below a 50-day moving average, or it's going to continue higher, and we'll wait to see how many pennies we can scrape from it. What is up, guys? We've got 18 of you in here. Make sure you're voting on the poll. The question is, what will the market do in the next month? 67% of you say it will go on to make new all-time highs. I am a part of that group, and I don't want to skew your decision here, but I do think we are going to continue after these rate cuts and the process that we have when we do cut rates. We usually tend to go higher because it's cheaper. But of course, there's so much fear, there's so much FUD out there. We could head lower, and 13% of you said we'll head lower from these all-time highs, and 20% take the neutral route as not much movement, some sideways action. And I could definitely see the overall market just, you know, chopping around for a while and trading sideways because a lot of this is priced in, but we'll see. I know we're above a 21-day moving average, so I am risk on, and I'm always going to be rooting for the market to head higher. Let's catch up on the chat. Yeah, 3 weeks tight for the high tight flag. Thank you, Carl Burr. My question for you guys was, I believe a high tight flag, what is by definition a high tight flag, when you pop up extremely high on volume, you want to trade sideways and create a flag, and it usually is 3 weeks. So high tight flag, when we come across, I'll show you one. But yes, thank you, Carl, for pointing that out. Jolene says, OUST, let's go, baby. Yes, another one, actually, that Jolene pointed out to me. I'm telling you, she's on fire. And when you got somebody that's on fire, that's finding those stocks, you pay attention when they talk. And she has been knocking it out of the park. So congratulations to you, Jolene. We really, really are appreciative to have you a part of all of our journeys. Let's carry on, shall we? Shall we? Yeah, CLS. Let's look at CLS. This is not a shit ticker. This is a very nice EPS and sales growth earner, and we're at a very, very beautiful basing top here. So 255, set your alerts for 255. It looks like I got 2 of them. I don't want to miss CLS. If this thing, and in the pre-market, it actually looks like it is heading higher. It's trading at 255 right meow in the pre-market. So do keep that in mind, folks. We might have a beautiful basing breakout on CLS in the morning. So keep a very close eye on CLS. If you guys don't see it, let me just show you. This is the basing breakout that I like to see. This one's a little choppy, hard to take for me personally. This basing breakout, this shows tightening range, lots of wicks. See all these wicks? It looks like there's more wicks to the buying side, eh? Who knows? When we get this basing breakout, we want to see volume on the 5-minute time frame at the basing breakout to show that there are speculative investors ready to buy, okay? So let's keep an eye on that one. I'm going to show this one only because I'm in it. This is AAOI. It's got EPS and sales growth. I mean, it's a little wonky when you start seeing numbers like that, but I like this trend break. You know, just like IONQ, huge trend break, lots of new higher lows, above all moving averages, and then I took this basing breakout right here. It's just been trading sideways for me. Honestly, I don't like stocks like this. Speaking of which, you know, I'm still in calm. Look at this thing. I mean, I bought this beautiful basing breakout, right? Look at it. It's still basing. I mean, it doesn't get any tighter than this. I don't like it. I do not like when these stocks trade like this. I don't. When I get in right here, I want to see this thing either go straight up or straight down. Either tell me I'm right or tell me I'm wrong. COMM is making me a laughing stock. I've been in this thing for what, 2.5 weeks now? I'm up $37.50 on this trade. That is not how I want my money to work for me, guys. When I'm in, I want to start making money now, de-risk, and then let the rest fly, right? So I'm still holding on to it because I asked myself, if this thing gaps down, is it going to hurt me more if I'm out of it if it gaps up, right? That's what I asked myself, what's going to be the biggest amount of pain? I get out now and settle for, you know, zero. I didn't lose any money. I made $37. And then it gaps up. How am I going to feel, right? Or do I stay in it? And then if it were to gap down, how would I feel? Well, I'm holding on to it. It doesn't matter. It's still above a 10-day moving average. It hasn't closed below it. And that's my rule when I got into this trade. So it is what it is. Rocket Lab's looking really, really good. Don't forget to smash that like button. Yeah, Carl Burr in the building. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Guys, I want you to start throwing in the ticker right now, or in the chat right now. Let me know what ticker is your favorite. I don't care if it's a shit stock. I don't care if it's a leader. If you can, give me some context. Tell me what sector it is in, or maybe why you are actually keeping an eye on it. I have 1,000 of these, and I'm going to continue to go over these until you guys shut me up with your tickers, okay? Let's take a look at NVFY. Now, this is a very, very shit ticker. NVFY, absolutely garbage. This is a China stock. We're not looking at EPS and sales growth on this kind of stuff. Okay, we're not. It's just not, it's not the reason why we do it. Where's the music? Give me some music, baby. There we go. I'm gonna turn this up. Hope you guys can hear the music all right. Gotta have some music in the background, baby. All right, check it out. NVFY. Now, listen, guys. It's not a leader. This is a China stock. This is a rip your face off. This is a, you're gonna bloody your account with this, or you're gonna go home a winner. NVFY, Nova Lifestyles, okay? We're not looking at the EPS and sales growth. We're looking at the ADR percentage on this thing, 16.66%. Woo! This will make or break you, guys. This is a day trader kind of thing. If you see big volume pushing this thing up to the high side, wow. I'm keeping an eye on it. If I do take this trade, I'm gonna use the day's low as my stop. I'm keeping a very tight stop, and I'm not going to be taking a large share size into this. This thing could really move higher, but we need to be very, very careful with NVFY. Snap, let's take a look at Snap. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen Snap. What's up, Robert? Roberto Harp's in the building. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, this thing, Snap's way down. So the first thing I like to look at, Robert, is the 200-day moving average. And you can see anytime this thing gets up to that 200-day moving average, it just keeps getting rocked, man. It's having a really hard time. And it actually reached a new all-time low recently. Now, they do have some EPS and sales growth, but Snap needs to snap things back together, because I'm telling you, if it doesn't break this horrible looking downtrend, we're not going to get anywhere with this stock. So me personally, I think it needs a lot of time to shape up. I want to see something crazy happen, like bam, head way higher, then create new higher lows, maybe forming a base right here at the top before breaking out. So for me, I don't think Snap's a really good stock to really make the most money on. Plus, it moves pretty slow right here, 3.82%. That's a pretty slow mover in my book. I think you can find a better stock out there, and I think I can show a few of them to you, Robert. So I hope that's a decent analysis. But let's take a look at WGS from Yosef. Yes, this is what we want to see. This stock is trending higher. You can see the trend. It is trending higher. The RS rating, meaning its relative strength compared to the overall market, is very high. 99 is high as you can go. So WGS is saying, hey, I have EPS and sales growth. Right here, EPS and sales growth. I have a trend. I'm trending up, and my RS rating is 98. We like this stock. Now what are we looking for? We are looking for, me personally, a base or a trend breakout. And you can see right here is your basing breakout. So right at that $130 area, WGS is looking very, very nice. Issue, it's in the healthcare services, medical and nursing services. So why would this stock be doing so good? Well, the healthcare sector is down. It operates health intelligence companies. It engages in healthcare with the use of its collective disease data sets. It offers exome and genome testing for diagnostics of genetic diseases. The company was founded by blah, 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 and it is in America. So with that being said, you can see it takes a technical approach, or a technology approach to these. It has a database full of information that can be acquired by these health care and facilitate that information as it needs to be. So WGS looks really, really good here. Will it continue higher? That's the real question. I know one thing I want to do is put this on my watch list and then go ahead and set my alert, because I know my boy Yosef, he's got an eye for this stock trading shit as well. So thank you, Yosef, I appreciate you. And while you guys are throwing the tickers up in the chat, we got, oh, SoFi. Yes, I haven't looked at SoFi. I might actually have to put SoFi on that leaders list, yes. So thank you, Robert Harp, as you're coming through. He said Snap at first, and he's like, oh, Snap, that ain't a good stock. Let me throw some SoFi in your face, baby. And I like SoFi. This is looking really nice. Why? Well, we'll start off by saying this has a beautiful uptrend. We like to be a part of those uptrends. Another thing is it just had this beautiful basing breakout. Absolutely beautiful. If you were able to get a part of this basing breakout, or even this basing breakout right here, it's looking mighty fine. This would have been really hard to hold on to that. unless you had rules like closing below the 21-day moving average. You can see here it's been very respectful of that 21. Now breaking out higher, I consider this extended because it's extended from the base, right? And if we get extended from the base over 7%, according to William J. O'Neill's How to Make Money in Stocks, his rules are if you are going to buy a stock or add into a stock, you want to do it within 7% of its basing range. So what I will say is SoFi is now on or back on the leaderboards list with the EPS and sales growth that we like to see. And also, SoFi is not something that we want to play. Oh, I did have it on the leaderboard. I just didn't go over it today. We will definitely keep an eye on SoFi because if this thing shows another basing breakout like this, we might have one more leg up. So we'll see. But it's looking really good. I hope if you were a part of it, that you got that beautiful basing breakout. Let's go with Roku. Roku. Is Roku a China stock? Let me just double check. I can't remember. Or it's Japanese probably. But it's headquarters in San Jose, California. So regardless, it's an American stock. They're manufacturing out there. Look at this beautiful base. Now, this is what I like. You guys bring up stuff that I don't usually see. Now, it's a slower mover at 3.41%. But look at the EPS and sales growth. It looks like they're having a little bit of a turnaround here. And if we look at this on the weekly time frame, it'll make it a little bit more clear for you folks. Look at this. This is its base right here, and it just broke out above that base and psychological $100 area. You can see it's hit this psychological $100 area multiple times here, and now it is above it with EPS and sales growth. So I do like Roku. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. I don't know if I would consider this, definitely I wouldn't consider this a leader. It just looks like an old company that's trying to get off of its base. Maybe what we would call, you know, that cigar puff, that one last cigar puff on Roku before it becomes a nothing burger. But the EPS and sales growth, it makes it hard to kind of argue saying Roku is not going to exist. But if we zoom out on the daily, new higher lows, we have a base forming, we have a tightening range. We'll see if Roku wants to get it. Oh yeah, you want to go over Oklo? Definitely, we'll go over Oklo. Let's keep up on the chat though. As Carl Burr says, GEV. Yes, I need to put this. I don't know why I don't have this on my leader list. So there's a couple of beautiful things about GEV. We have some EPS and sales growth. It's nothing crazy. This was a leader and still is a leader. I don't know if it is the leader, but we'll need to throw GEV back up on this leaderboard list. I don't know why I don't have it. But look at this, guys. This is what dreams are made of. We have a beautiful trend here that it wants to break, right? It's following that 50-day moving average, and if it can get above this, I'd like to see it. Now, we only have two new higher lows. What I like to mark out is like, here is your low, here is your new higher low. So in my perfect scenario, I'd like to see it do one of these first, something like that, before taking off. So that's my perfect case scenario for GEV. It doesn't matter. The market does not give a shit what I think. This thing could take off tomorrow and go to 100, you know? So it's looking really, really good though. And we definitely need to keep GEV on our watch list. Back to the chat while I take a sip of coffee. Robert Harp, you are welcome very much. I hope I earned your like and subscribe. I'll do it for the subscribe, baby. Libby Franchuk, what's up, Libby? It's good to see you in the building, girl. Oh, I missed you. You were here earlier. Hi, all made it. Disney got dumped this week, and I have been watching. The stock is down after the Kimmel hoopla. Going to watch it to learn. Will it rebound? Will it tank? Watching. You know, that I've actually looked at Disney quite a few times too. This is one of those things where it's real simple. If we just look at the EPS, if I can find, or not the EPS, but the RS rating, you can see the RS rating is at 49%. So it shows you, even if the overall market's heading higher, Disney is not heading higher. And it's making new lower highs. You see these new lower highs? 1, 2, 3 new lower highs here. And now it's trying to bounce off this area. If I had any guess, I would say it's going to bounce and then head even lower. That's just because that is on its short-term trend, right? Its long-term trend, we would say that this is just trading sideways, right? It reached a new all-time high right here, which is a good sign for the overall stock when you actually can get that new all-time high. But directly after it, it pulled back and then created a new higher low, a new higher low, a new higher low, and then headed lower. Disney is looking very weak. I don't know anything about, you know, whatever hoopla you're talking about. I don't pay any attention to what's going out there. It's just the market for me. And if we look at Disney and we look at what's going on, oh, look, and the news is right here. Halted Jimmy Kimmel show over his remarks about blah, 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 blah. And yeah, you can see here, I mean, I think even before that, right, because that happened, you know, what, 4 days ago, 3 days ago? I don't really know. I don't really care. But you can see here that the stock was already doing pretty shitty, right? And the EPS and sales growth are lowering. They're heading down. So is this company too big to fail? Are they always going to be here? Is it going to head back up? What I do know is I think there's better places for us to put our money because it's only moving 1.69%. So even if you were to buy here and thought this was the bottom, you're not going to make a lot of money real fast, especially on a more expensive stock. It's over $100. You'd have to put a lot of money into this to only make 1.69% a day at the absolute max, right? So I think there's better stocks out there, but I could be completely wrong. But thank you, Libby. I do appreciate you throwing that one out my way. Jimmy Bright, slow. That's not a ticker. You were probably talking about, oh, you were probably talking about Disney. Yeah, for sure. Oh, let's take a look at CYBR. That's probably the one that you're saying is slow. Yes, it is much slower, but you can't deny that this is a leader. CYBR, this is CyberArk software. Let me just read to you a little bit about what CyberArk does because it does have some nice EPS and sales growth. It engages in the development, market, and sales of access security software solutions. The firm's product include privilege, access, and DevSecOps. I promise you that word's harder than I pronounced it, right? Privilege? It's right here if you guys want to help me with that word. Here, well, we're going to get sidetracked. Let's say define. I bet it's not a real word. It's probably, see, no, it autocorrect. Is it privilege?
Privilege.
Oh, it is privilege. Okay. I just must look funny on there. Anyway, CY, it offers products and services to banking, insurance, healthcare, and federal industries. Okay, so check it out. CyberArk software. I'm going to put this on the leaderboard list as well, just so I have it. Even though it is slower, if this thing sets up beautifully, showing a nice tight base or trend breakout, it might show proper risk reward. It might be a stock you still want to take, but it's definitely one to keep an eye on as it is showing to be a leader. You can see we've been watching this thing way back here. Ooh, almost drew something yucky. We've been watching this thing way back here, guys. This thing's been taken off. It looks really good. You know, just bouncing beautifully. RS rating of 93, EPS and sales growth. Definitely one we want to keep on our watch list. Robert Harp says, Oklo, baby. You want to see some Oklo? We called this Oklo out. Look how beautiful this trend breakout was on Oklo. We talked about it. We weren't being about it though. My biggest issue, obviously, with these nuclear stocks is they don't have EPS and some of them don't even have sales growth. But again, it's all about technical analysis. I say it all the time, and I have to get reminded. My beefiest of stews always reminds me as well. Just look at the price action. You know, like cut out the noise. Just, you know, price action will tell you price action is king. And that's exactly what this did here. It was beautiful. The volume on this breakout was much higher than the previous week. And you can see it just continued to capitulate higher. Now up from that trend breakout, 80%, looking absolutely awesome. Just following the rest of the nuclear stocks like, you know, SMR is doing really good. I think they had a 15% move yesterday, almost up to 19% by the end of the day, looking absolutely awesome. NNE, I believe, this actually was pointed out by B. Stewie, I think 2 days before the breakout. This is a basing breakout right here. You can see that breakout happened to new all-time highs. Absolutely beautiful as well. But again, remember, these stocks do not have EPS and sales growth. So for me to hold them overnight makes my stomach hurt, to be quite honest. It makes me very, very hard to hold on to these stocks. But, you know, price action is king, guys. You know, price action is king. Even, you know, Pony. Look at Pony. This is another one. It does not have any EPS or sales growth, but look at the basing breakout Look at the trend breakout. I mean, there's just so much, a beautiful movement out there that you could be a part of, even if you weren't looking at the EPS and sales growth. Let's carry on. SSRO, actually, just to look at Oklo, I'm not buying it anywhere in this area. I missed the move, right? You can't kiss all the babies. A matter of fact, you know, this is, to me, this is an ugly ass baby right here. I ain't kissing this baby. Why? Because this baby already left its crib, right? I ain't chasing babies. This baby's on a furious run towards a cliff, in my opinion. Eventually, this has got to pull back. I don't know where the cliff is. I don't. But I promise you, the second I buy in and try and kiss that baby, it's going to jump off that cliff, okay? Enough kissing baby analogies. Things are getting weird. Libby Franchuk says, let me see that SSRM. She said she's watching for sideways action. That's what I like to hear. Now, it is showing some sideways action, and this is in the hottest sector alive, gold, baby, gold. Gold's been kicking ass for the past year and a half, and I haven't been a part of it except for a small bit. A small bit I've been a part of it. And you guys were there with me, but SSRM is showing a basing area right here. I think it needs some more time. I'd like to see some new higher lows, but of course the market doesn't give a shit what I think. But look at this. Maybe give me some more sideways action before ripping higher. But SSRM currently moves over that 4%, and it is a $4.63 billion stock. It has EPS and sales growth, so this thing looks really, really good, and it looks like a leader. Nice one, Libby. Thank you so much for pointing that stock out. I do believe I already have this on the leaderboard list. Man, I'm telling you, when this bull run is over, I'm deleting this damn focus list. Every time I start a focus list, it just piles up with so many stocks. I just want the best of the best. And I tell you what, I have a lot of junker stocks in here. I need to get back focused. I know my G has already told me once, you know. He's already told me once, you're starting to get away from those leaders. Well, we're back, baby. We're back, baby. All right, let's see. What else we got going on in the chat? Robert says, you're pretty cool. I love the energy. Robert, did you just become a member? Goodness gracious. You know what? He's going to leave after I show him the video, but we only do this video once in a while, guys, and I'm going to do it. This is for the, you know, every time I do it, I just start laughing. I'm going to show you guys this video. And I usually do this for anybody that does like a like or like a super like or a super chat, anything like that. So I'm going to show you this video, all right? And you guys can tell me if you love it or not. Love it or hate it.
We just got ourselves a super chat, or a super like. I love it, I love it, I love it. Thank you so much. Let's dance, baby. Oh, yeah. Making that money. Making it rain.
All right, yeah, that's just me. That's just me. I got to give you guys a little something. Thank you for joining. Thank you for becoming a member. Actually, because you became a member, there's 2 amazing videos I really want you to watch. It's only access for our members now, and that is the trend and base breakout strategy. 2 very long but very informative videos. That's how we all have really came to understand how I trade. We spend a lot of time on those videos. So thank you so much again, Robert Hart. We do appreciate you joining and becoming a member. Welcome, 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 baby. Let's see. Gregory Greenrich, I posted the top at the chat. Yes, your stock request. Yes, sir. Thank you for the reminder. Sometimes we get a little caught up. Let's do your chat request, shall we? TYGO, there are EPS and sales growth. This is an energy stock. Let's zoom out here. It looks like it's had some issues before. Let's take a look. Where is this coming from? This looks like a Chinese stock. Founded February 13 in headquarters of Los Angeles, California. Okay, so this is an American stock, and you can see it's popping up here. It's actually broke this basing area. I've not seen this stock yet, so thank you for bringing this up. The average daily range on this is 8.33% with an RS rating of 98. It actually popped up on higher than average volume than the previous week, so it looks like things are happening here. It does look like things are happening here. Now, it doesn't look like a buy right now. Let me throw this on the monthly and see if there's something I'm missing. If we zoom out on the monthly, man, I hate charts that look like this. Yeah, it looks like it's getting above all of this monthly basing area. So if we zoom back in on the daily time frame, get rid of all this garbage, you can see it's above all of its moving averages. This thing is starting to trend to the north side. I don't personally care for it, probably because I'm not comfortable with it. I haven't seen a stock like this. But what's holding this thing back right now? I mean, probably not much of any of this back from 2023 is really going to hold as a very, very big sell area. But just keep in mind, this is a OTC or over-the-counter stock, so you got to be really careful with stocks like this. Yeah, just keep an eye on this one. But it's working. If it's working for you, it's working for you. I like it. This looks more like a day trading kind of stock to me, but if you're swing trading it, good for you. You can probably find a lot of money on that. PGEN, let's take a look at PGEN. Now this is what I like to see. Big move up, a pullback, riding the 21-day moving average. I wish it were getting a little tighter and creating new higher lows, but you're not gonna argue with this. Huge move up too. Look at this highest volume ever pushing the stock up and then pulling back, riding that 21-day moving average. That's what you want to see in a stock. This thing can really get going. Just make sure you have proper risk management on this thing and using, it looks like the 21-day moving average is held pretty well. So I like PGEN, it looks good. Not my favorite. I think there's better stocks out there that have EPS and sales growth. Those are my thoughts. BREA. So on the daily time frame, this thing's shooting straight up and straight back down. If you're looking at this thing, I need a lot more time, personally. I mean, look at this. If it did something like this and traded sideways for 3 weeks and formed a range, then absolutely. But when I look at this stock, no. There's nothing I can do with this right now. It went straight up and straight back down. It just needs time for me personally. XTIA, man, you're throwing some weird ones at me. No, I wouldn't touch this thing. The RS rating, absolute dog shit. It's only got no EPS and sales growth, and below the 200-day moving average. Aerospace is one of the hottest sectors out right now. So when you look at a stock like this, and then you look at aerospace, and aerospace is reaching new all-time highs in the ETF, and this thing is reaching new all-time lows, that's a huge red flag. This thing should be reaching new all-time highs with the overall ETF. If it's not, it's a garbage stock. So no, XTIA, probably a Chinese stock too. Let me just look. Inglewood? Nope, I was wrong. All right, let's take a look at the next one. BCDA. Another one, I'm gonna say the same damn thing. Below a 200-day moving average, the RS rating, meaning even if the market goes straight up, this thing could have the possibility of continuing to head lower. We have EPS growth, but I don't believe it with this kind of sales growth. All right, so those are my thoughts, man. You can make money on these, but for me, when I'm looking at stuff like this, I don't want anything that's below a 200-day moving average, doesn't have EPS or sales growth, or at least is it making new higher lows, okay? Hell yeah. Roberto Harp says QUBT. Let's take a little peeky gander. Now, this is another one in the quantum computing, and we could run through all the quantum computing stocks. There's a ton of them out there. QUBT broke this area, and it looks like it's going to head higher. Just always keep in mind, IONQ is the leader in this sector. It 100% is the leader in the sector, okay? If we ran through all of our stocks in the quantum computing, we'd have QTUM, which is the ETF, right? The ETF, we showed that the basing breakout area was showing beautiful on QTUM, which is the quantum ETF, right? Looking really, really good, heading much, much higher. What's next on the list? QUBT. This also capitulated higher, broke this basing area, but did not make new all-time highs. So it's still looking good. It is still in the hot sector. Now let's take a look at QUBT. I'm sorry. RGTI, another one that I called out here. This basing breakout, absolutely amazing. I did not take this one either. Again, Rigetti does not have EPS or sales growth, or the EPS that it does have, I don't believe in because there's no sales growth here. But another basing breakout reached new all-time highs. So right now, IONQ and RGTI hold our leader spot for the overall leaderboard for quantum computing. Here is QS, another one that reached and pushed but did not make new all-time highs. So it's looking good, but is it the leader currently? No, it is not. Then there also is ARQQ, which is another ETF we can look at. And you can see it's forming this basing area. Wait, is this? No, I'm sorry. This is a quantum package software. So not making new all-time highs. So out of our leaders, and you asked about QUBT, yes, is looking good. I'm not seeing a setup on this except for this basing breakout, which would have been extremely hard to take because it's, you know, above those, it's above those, it was above those moving averages, like, you know, extended. But if you look at RGTI and you look at IONQ, you'll see that these are our leaders in quantum computing. So if you're looking at trading a quantum computing stock, don't look at the laggers, look at the leaders and find out what's gonna make you the most money. Now, RGTI, I can just show you on my, right here on my brokerage account. You can see in the pre-market right now, it pushed even higher. We're actually sitting at 29.23 for RGTI. IONQ, let's take a look. IONQ reached to 72.84, so new all-time highs for IONQ as well. And QUBT, like you were talking about, again, pushed much, much higher in the after hours here, reaching 24.66. So looking beautiful. Let's take a look at RR. I don't want to skip out on that one. Greg Greenrich did say RR, and Jolene brought it up. Let's see, RR. Yeah, so RR was another one. If we look at this, let me bring it up on the best charting platform ever. If you guys want to be a part of this charting platform, you can get it for absolutely $0. Click on my description down below. In there, you'll see my link tree. In that link tree, you can click on Trading View. You can get this for free. If you upgrade to the Essential Plan, it gives me a little kickback. I've made a little bit of money off of it. I just use it to continue to buy my Essential Plan. Either way, it's free, guys. You can do it if you want. Let's see, RR. So this robotics, there's a few different spots I'm seeing to take the trade here, but I think the best one is this huge push up on volume. It pulls back, it rides the 21-day moving average, and starts to head up much, much higher. Jolene, where did you take this trade at exactly? What price did you get it? It's absolutely beautiful. I like it. I think you should put it on your watch list, but it's not a leader. It's not a leader in this. I would say the robotics, if we're gonna look at the leader, it's gonna be Tesla. Tesla is your leader here. RR looks good. You can make some money. I get why you want it. It's because it's lower price, it's cheaper. But right now it's extended. I'm not seeing a base or a trend breakout on it. I think this needs time. I would say my best bet would be do something like this before taking off. But I don't know. With this kind of market, things could just go straight up. So, hold on to your assholes. 325. Okay, let's see. 325. Okay, I like it. I'm assuming you probably took it here, though. Or maybe here. I could see this. Oh, kind of like a base breakout, Jolene. Is that where you took it? Like a basing breakout? That's a tough basing breakout because I'd like to see a couple more tight days here, but I bet that's where you took it. Because huge volume up, it pulls back, it follows the 21, and then you took the basing breakout. Now you're up roughly 32%. Oh, no big deal. I love it, Jolene. You're on fire, girl. You are on fuego. Absolutely love it. And I'll just let you in on a little secret, Jolene. I liked your SLDP trade as well. I took a nice trade with you on that one. Jolene came across, she let me know, hey, take a look at this stock. SLDP, I know she's on fire. I like the trade myself. I love this trend breakout that we've been seeing working. This very, very tight action right here on this trade as it pushed through. I took the trade and we're in it. We're up about $21 on this trade. Like I said, if I take a trade and I like the trade, but it doesn't meet all my criteria, like let's look at SLDP, you'll see why I don't like it. Because the EPS and sales growth isn't really there, but we have a trend breakout on new higher lows and in a tightening range on higher volume. Price action's king, folks. I'm gonna take that trade. But it's not like a TEM. If I show you TEM, you will find out really quick. We're up about $783 on TEM Okay, $45 in the pre-market right now. But why would I take such a big share size on this, right? And such a low share size on an SLDP? Well, if we look at TEM, you'll find right away the EPS and sales growth are there. It's got AI in the name. It's packaged software, right? So it's in a hot sector. Even if you wanted to look at Hack, you'll see Hack, one of the not necessarily the leading ETFs, is right there at those all-time highs. Or some people also like to say in this same sector, which is, oh boy, it's gonna be hard for me to find this one. Oh, IGV. So this is your tech software sector. Look at this beautiful bounce here. It pulled back, it bounced off this area. I started buying some of those things up like TEM, and look at this, new all-time highs. So it's in a hot sector too, right? So when we look at things like this and we ask, why we took certain trades or when or why, SLDP, I love the trade, I love the setup. Sound, I love the trade, I love the setup, but I don't like the EPS and sales growth on those, so I took smaller share size. So we're up, just to finish this out, guys, I'll let you know where I'm at. I'm holding 25% of my account in TEM. I'm willing to add on the basing breakout at 90 or 91.45, and I'm probably gonna add another 50 to 100 shares on that, and use this 21-day moving average as my stop loss. Give it plenty of room, let this baby work. I'm in SOUN, trend breakout, smaller share size, only took 100 shares, waiting for those new all-time highs so I can exit half of my shares. SLDP, very small share size. I'm also holding a few weird ones like PAPL, very, very small share size. Oust, I'm already out of half of this trade, and I'm using this 50-day moving average as my next stop. So I'm giving it plenty of room to work. We're up about another $178 in that last half. Of course, COMM still getting tighter. Hate the trade, but we'll see what happens. 37.50 up, 37.50. And then AAIO. I've held this for almost a week now, and I'm only up $19. I don't like the way it's working. The second it closes below a 10-day moving average, I will exit out of this trade. So that's all I'm holding. Willing to put on, I think my number one watch all throughout tonight is CLS. CLS right here is probably my number one watch. Really like what's going on with CLS. I really like that EPS and sales growth on CLS. So for me, tomorrow, my number one watch is gonna be CLS. If this thing breaks out higher with this kind of EPS and sales growth, if we see volume on that breakout, that's where another 20% of my account's gonna go into, and then I can reduce it down to 10 after we reach 20%. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. I had fun tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Nothing but love, guys. Absolutely nothing but love. We're kicking ass, we're taking names, and we're doing a little better than last month. So I hope you guys learned a little something from this. Again, thank you, Robert. If you haven't been with us before, I like to do a little closing out ceremony. If anybody has said anything in this chat, we will give you a shout out at the end of the show. So thank you guys so much for being here. We just ended the poll. It looks like over 62%, 68% of you think the market will go on to new all-time highs. So thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next week, and we'll see you in the Discord. Robert, not that you remember, reach out if you want to be a part of our Discord. See if you vibe right. Ask the right questions. As long as you like to form a strategy, we're happy to have you. We'll see you in a minute. We'll give you a big shout out at the end. Peace, guys. This could be bad. I drink too much coffee during the show. Thank you guys so much. I had another great time with you. Robert Harp, thank you so much for your membership, as well as Carl Burr, the beefiest of stews, and goodness, I don't want to forget anybody. Oh, come on. I'm having a brain fart. No, I'm having a brain fart. I'm looking it up. If you're still with me, I appreciate you, but I got to give him a shout out. Where is he? Where is he? Norman Conklin. Goodness. Oh, that would have been embarrassing. There he is too. He's in here. Oh, thank God I looked it up. I can't forget Norman Conklin. You are the longest standing member that we have, and I really appreciate you. So thank you so much. Yosef, thank you. I hope you have a good night. Norman Conklin, thank you for being our longest standing member. Robert, thank you for your new membership. Jolene Martinez, thank you for being a friend, a comrade, and having an open ear when I need to talk. I really appreciate you, Jolene. I really, really do. Gregory Greenwich, thank you for being a big part of this, and I'm sorry that you posted it at the top and I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. We had some awesome action looking at some of those tickers. Libby Franchuk, you are awesome. Jimmy Bright, as always, thank you so much for being here, Jimmy. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Zamora, as always. Mama, Robert Tainch, thank you. Robert's always stopping in. He's always showing his support. Thank you guys so much. I hope you had an awesome time, and we will see you guys next Sunday, or we'll see you in the Discord. Peace, guys.